Hey everybody, welcome to the Thanksgiving Eve Sports Report. He's Emerson, I'm Gage. How's it going today, Emerson?
It's good. Everything's good. Yeah.
Is everything good?
Well, I mean, things could be better.
How so?
You'll notice my attire if you're watching the video.
Oof.
So I could be happier, but I mean, this news has already sunk in, and we'll get to it later.
Alright.
Yeah, if you're just listening, I am decked out in my Warriors gear and my Klay Thompson jersey.
Big Dubs guy.
In honor, I got my Klay Thompson goatee on too.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that.
So yeah, I'm a little butthurt right now. A little sad for the guy, but
But I know you're drinking your troubles away, so what are you drinking?
I have some scotch on the rock. Some good old Glenmorangie 10-year age scotch. It's pretty solid.
And you heard that right. Not rocks. Rock.
Yeah. One rock. One big old rock.
One big
That's
old
the way to
rock.
do it.
And I am drinking a Lagunitas Daytime IPA. Shout out to Ashley Sills. Shout out to Lagunitas.
Tasty.
Really good beer. 98 calories, 3 carbs. I'm sure I've said that on the show many times, but hey,
Lowest percentage alcohol IPA of all time, probably.
just letting you guys know what I'm drinking.
It's good stuff.
So what do we got going on today, Emerson?
We had some big moves in the NBA offseason world.
Huge.
Huge.
Well-
Huge. Well, pretty big moves.
Yeah.
Some big moves, yeah.
Pretty.
Not as huge as Donald would like to say.
Pretty big.
Yeah, we're going to recap week 11 of the NFL, as always. We have update on our, I don't even know what to call this yet, but I'm going to call it the CFP NFL rankings.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe we'll keep it simple, just call it the NFL top 6 maybe going forward.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
That sounds
I
good.
feel like people who are frequent listeners will jump on board and...
Has it already been a month since we did the first one?
No, we're doing it every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks, okay.
Yeah, every 2 weeks.
Because you told me last night, I was like, man, has it been a month already? Because I thought you originally said we were going to start.
No, we're going to do it every 2 weeks for the rest of the year, yeah.
Yeah.
And then tonight, the actual college football rankings
Came out.
were debuted. Yep. So we'll get into that a little bit. And then we're going to let the fans dictate the rest of the show after that.
Love it.
Got some questions and
some
topics.
That's some pretty good questions.
Yeah, very good topics to dive into.
We got Danny talking shit about the Cowboys, so that'll be fun.
Yeah. And we're going to get into some, got some questions with the Warriors. And
James asked us an Ole Miss question.
yeah. Who?
We're not going to answer that one, right?
Yeah, it's not even a question. It's hardly a topic. But we'll get there at some point.
We'll get there. Don't worry about that right now. Won't worry about that
Yeah.
right now.
First off, though, we're going to get into some NBA news.
Yes.
So 5 max extensions have been signed since we last talked. Five. Yeah, big old 5.
Count them.
Yep. Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, Brandon Ingram, Bam Adebayo, and De'Aaron Fox
Ooh.
all signed max extensions.
Wow.
First off, I want to ask you, since you're a Kings fan, what do you think about De'Aaron Fox coming back on that deal?
I like it.
Yeah, he's a good player, right?
Yeah, he's a good player. I just think it's nice that the Kings are keeping the good players, not just getting rid of them like they always seem to do.
Yeah,
So I'm happy for him. He got paid.
he did. He did.
He got paid.
Do you think all these guys are deserving?
Tatum and Mitchell for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else, I mean,
Questionable.
when I saw De'Aaron, I was like, it's a lot of money. But the NBA always gives out big money contracts.
That's the thing with the NBA landscape these days is like to compete, you probably got to have 2 max contracts on your books, right?
Yeah.
Unless you have a guy on a rookie contract that's a star.
Mhm.
That's the only way you're going to be successful. So and then you just got to hope that they're the best of their kind. You know,
Brandon Ingram had a good bounce back year.
he's a good player actually. He was an all-star.
Bam Adebayo, I think, deserves it after the postseason that he had.
I think that's the most interesting. Him and Fox are the most interesting of the two. But
I'm sure you would agree Tatum and Mitchell deserve.
yeah, I would say Tatum and Mitchell are probably the 2 best players. Ingram's a pretty good one too.
Mhm.
I would say the most deserving based on what they have, they've contributed to winning teams are Tatum and Adebayo though.
Yeah.
Because Adebayo just played in the finals. Tatum helped take his team to the conference
The
finals.
Celtics can't go to the finals, apparently. They just keep going to the conference finals. But yeah, they keep getting there.
Yeah, so I would say all these guys are somewhat deserving in a way.
Yeah. But what about Gordon Hayward, though? He got that signed a 4-year, $120 million deal with Charlotte. I don't know how I feel about this.
It's a lot of money for a guy who's, I think he's 30 now,
Past his prime.
and he's been so injured over the last 3 years.
That one-
Ever since he joined the Celtics, he's just been injured.
that broken leg first game of the season.
I feel for him. And actually, I didn't even realize how good of numbers he put up this past season. But is he worth $30 million a year? At his age, it's hard to say. But
Is this Michael Jordan just trying to stretch it too much?
well, I think it's a Charlotte franchise because I mean they've been in the running for a Russell Westbrook trade, so they're seeming a little desperate just to get a name to maybe fill the seats. I mean it's hard to even say that at this point.
And they just drafted LaMelo, so it's like, do they really need Westbrook? I mean,
They're probably I think now that they've drafted LaMelo, Westbrook's off the table.
I mean, I'm not saying LaMelo is Westbrook because he's it's about to be a rookie. He
Yeah,
hasn't
but
proven himself.
same position kind of deal.
I don't know. It's
Yeah, it's an interesting move.
I'm happy for Gordon Hayward because of what he's gone through, coming back and getting paid like he probably deserves.
Reports say that there were a few teams that offered contracts in a similar range, not a little bit less, but not too far off. So
Gotcha.
maybe the Hornets were just like, screw it, we're gonna go for it.
Yeah.
We want him.
Yeah.
So your boy Bogdan Bogdanovic, his sign and trade deal to Milwaukee fell through.
Kind of got weird.
It was a little weird because supposedly he did not agree
didn't
to the
agree
whole
to
sign
it.
part, which is pretty key to a sign and trade deal.
And then the Bucks get tampering a little bit.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
The whole situation
It was
weird.
funky, and so he ended up signing an offer sheet with the Hawks for 4 years, $72 million.
Yeah, we just found out about this too.
Yeah,
Just
so
found
this
out.
was just 2 days ago. The Kings had the option to match the offer since he was a restricted free agent,
And they didn't.
and they just recently declined to match the offer. How do you feel about that?
I liked him. I mean, he was cool.
He's a nice little player.
He could shoot really well. But, the Kings clearly didn't think the way I'm thinking, so they just said no.
Yesterday, I did read that they were feeling like if they were going to re-sign him, Buddy Hield would probably be on his way out. So
And I like Buddy a little more.
I think Buddy's a better player too.
Yeah.
He's proven himself a little more. He actually starts more often than Bogdanovic would. So
Yeah, well, that depends if Luke Walton wants to start Buddy Hield, so
yeah.
um,
So
classic Sacramento Kings shit.
yeah. So it's interesting situation. I think he's a good player, but at some point you gotta let guys go. You
Yeah.
can't sign everybody back.
Can't have everybody.
Yep.
Yeah. Kelly Oubre Jr. was traded to the Warriors
He was.
for 2 draft picks. How do you feel about that?
Well, with the loss of Clay, they needed to fill another wing position on the depth chart, which that helps. He's not the shooter that Clay is, but he's definitely a good athletic player. He played defense, so he'll help on that end of the floor. I think the Warriors are just not ready to give up on the season based on this move. Not that they would be anyways, but
My Western Conference Final
They're just
prediction
not
is
looking
not
as
looking
good.
good right now,
yeah.
which I can take on the chin because I didn't expect Clay to bust his shit again, which I'm not even happy about. I don't know if we're going to get into that or no.
Yeah, we'll talk about Clay later.
Okay.
I think Oubre is a good solid. I mean, he averaged like 18 points a game last year, so
he's
he can play. He can score.
He's kind of a twig, but he's athletic.
Yeah.
He can shoot a little bit.
He can. If you watch his highlight reel, he's actually a really good dunker. So that'll be interesting. I think he's excited to join the Warriors too, based on what I've heard. So.
Yeah, they'll still be somewhat of a contender. I mean, the Clay thing hurts, but they'll still be.
I think they can make the playoffs with the team they
Yeah.
have. Moving on. So this 4-team trade has finally been finalized. We talked about Drew Holiday going to the Bucks last week. It's finally gone through. So after everything between the Hawks, the Nuggets, the Thunder, and the Pelicans, Steven Adams and Eric Bledsoe end up in New Orleans. R.J. Hampton, first-round draft pick, goes from Milwaukee to Denver. George Hill ends up in Oklahoma City. Drew Holiday to Milwaukee. Anything stand out from that deal, you guys?
I'm a little surprised that Steven Adams is gone. So I thought OKC really liked him.
I thought so too.
He
Yeah,
was really good for him.
I think actually Adams and Bledsoe going to New Orleans is kind of interesting.
Yeah,
Just as a veteran presence for all those young guys,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely. The only thing I can think about other than that is our boy Sal. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got to be hurt.
Yeah.
About this. I mean, George Hill's cool, but I know you like Steven Adams.
I
a
think
lot.
in this whole deal they did pick up another first-round draft pick, if I'm not mistaken.
So it's like
Shocking.
It's like their thousandth one.
Yeah, so they're just hoping one of those hits, I guess. And then I guess Drew Holiday is a decent pickup for Milwaukee. But
Yeah.
I don't know how much better he really is than Bledsoe and George Hill, but it's not a bad pickup.
No. Milwaukee needs anything they can get apparently
Yeah.
because they can't make that extra step for some reason.
Yeah. So what do you think about these 3 pickups the Lakers made? So they added a few veterans: Wesley Matthews for a year, Marcus Gasol 2 years, Montrezl Harrell also for 2 years. I think.
I like the Montrezl one sticks out to me big time.
Well, the funny thing is, in the Clippers rotation, he kind of, I don't really think he fit. I know he won Sixth Man of the Year, but they asked him to play center, and he's not a rim defender, which was kind of funky. Which is, I think that's why the Clippers were so willing to move on.
You could tell the Lakers were really looking for bigs after Dwight Howard left.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
signed a deal because they got Marcus Gasol as well,
Yeah.
which I think is a good
I-
veteran presence.
Yeah, Marcus Gasol can still play for
Yeah,
sure.
he can still dish it. He can still shoot threes.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't mention on this Dennis Schroeder's on the Lakers too.
He is, yeah. We
Which
talked about that last
He
week.
was, I think,
Another good pickup.
runner up for Sixth Man of the Year.
Yeah,
this
so they got the two best quote unquote benchmen from
because
last year.
they lost Rondo too, which we're gonna get to,
Yeah,
and Dwight Howard. But
yeah,
I think it's good for the Lakers.
yeah.
I think they're pretty deep. I think before these moves, I didn't think they were going to repeat. I don't think they necessarily will either, but I think this helps.
Yeah, yeah. I think. Yeah, you could probably still say they're favorites. I don't know if any other team necessarily stands out right now.
Well,
And
yeah,
they're-
the Clay going down hurts
Yeah,
or
for sure.
helps them.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, in the West, I can't.
There's just a lot of young teams, and the Clippers we're still not really sold on yet, right?
Not really. I mean,
Yeah.
they look, they sound good on paper, but
Yeah.
after what happened, I don't really know. New coach, so it might not go well for them.
Yeah.
Other veteran short-term deals. Our boy Boogie Cousins signs with Houston for a year. Yeah, I mean Boogie's done.
Yeah.
He's done, right? Dwight Howard to Philly for a year. That'd be interesting. Playing back up to Embiid.
Yep.
Rondo to Atlanta for 2 years. I mean, this one, Rondo's old, man.
He
He's
is.
just getting old.
Well, and that's the last one. We can talk about all of them.
Serge Ibaka to the Clippers for 2
Yeah.
years. Or which of these stand out
Yeah.
to you?
Well, I like actually Ibaka to the Clippers.
Mhm.
I think because they were running basically their big men were Zubats and Harrell last year.
Mhm.
Both guys that can't stretch the floor at all. So Ibaka helps in that regard. And I think he's going to play a lot more center for them than he has in the past, which will allow him to maybe be a better rim defender than those other guys.
Ibaka's a good player. He can shoot.
Yeah, he's getting older, but he's still a solid player. He's aged really well in this
Yeah.
league. I think the Rondo move is interesting because they picked up Gallinari. So they're clearly trying to get some veterans in the mix with their young core.
Yeah.
So I see them as maybe a fringe playoff team for the Eastern Conference. The other moves like Cousins to the Rockets. It sounds like a very desperate move to maybe revive his career, but the Rockets are a fucking joke.
Sounds like Patrick Ewing in the Magic type thing.
Yeah.
It's just like, no.
Yeah.
I saw him, I was like, dude,
Yeah.
it's
you're
over.
desperate.
It's over. I mean, get your money, do your thing. You still want to play, I get it. But
Yeah.
like when I saw this, I wasn't surprised.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, this is huge.
Yeah.
Because it's the Rockets. The Rockets will never, ever be good
Yeah.
or good enough.
Dwight to Philly, yeah, it's a good, he can be a nice rotational
Yeah.
piece. Sure.
Well, I think especially after what he did for the Lakers this last year.
Yeah, he played a lot better than I think anyone could have expected.
He proved that he doesn't need to be the man anymore and that he can actually play well and give a contender, which I think Philly could be a contender in the East.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So, and that'd be nice to have, Embiid start, obviously, and then Dwight Howard come off the bench.
Yeah, if he's their
Doing
next
the same.
guy, that's a pretty solid backup.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if they play them together. Because obviously they got rid of Al Horford for a reason because he couldn't play any defense on the other side. So Dwight, I think, can play better defense than
Dwight's
Horford.
still very athletic, still in very good shape.
Yeah.
Can still do what he has to do out on the defensive side.
So yeah, that'll be an interesting tandem because they got kind of shit on for being too tall in a way last year.
Yeah.
So
On to some NFL news.
week 11.
Thursday night, pretty big game. Probably
Yeah.
one of the bigger
Very
Thursday
important.
night games that we've seen this year.
Yeah.
Seattle
was a good one.
beat Arizona 28-21. I thought Arizona was going to pull out this one, personally.
Yeah, it ended on a sack too. Like
Yeah.
the Cardinals kind of had a chance to do another Hail Mary bullshit like they did the week before.
Exactly.
And then when we got to Sunday, Taysom Hill made his first career start for the
He
Saints.
actually played pretty well.
He did.
I was shocked.
Yeah,
I did not think he would have played that well.
Yeah, if you look at his passing numbers, very efficient. He ran for 50 yards and a couple touchdowns.
Yeah.
And led his Saints to a 24-9 win over the Falcons.
This one I don't even want to talk about.
Yeah, it's
I
sad.
hate seeing it. When I saw the replay of it, I felt, man, it looked terrible. It was terrible. Joe Burrow suffered a major knee injury against the Washington football team. Clearly out for the season if you were to see the replay.
ACL, MCL, structural damage, all that.
If you're not a person who likes to get queasy, don't watch it. But
Yeah.
I like Joe Burrow, and I hate to see something like this happen, especially in his first year.
No doubt.
I do think he could bounce back, but from what I've heard of what the knee that happened to the knee and the leg, a lot of damage.
Yeah.
A lot of damage to it.
He's young. I feel like he's strong. He's going to bounce back just fine, but it's a rough injury to see for a good young player.
So the Bengals just need to draft only offensive linemen.
I mean, honestly, that's the biggest thing that's going to kill him. I mean,
Yeah.
he could have the Andrew Luck syndrome where he just gets crushed for the first 8 years of his career and
Just
he doesn't
retire
last.
early, yeah.
Yeah, which I would hate to see that.
So Joe Burrow, I wish you nothing but the best coming back. Better than ever.
Jimmy, your Pittsburgh Steelers stay undefeated. They took down the Jaguars this week, and they will play on Thanksgiving against the Ravens. Pretty good matchup. Ravens are gotta be a little bitter.
The
I
Ravens are
imagine.
falling right now.
Yeah. What happened to them this week?
They lost to they lost to Tennessee in overtime.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry game-winning touchdown. They won 30-24.
They held Henry in check for most of the game, and then he just wore him out.
Balled out, yeah.
He's such a beast.
Baltimore, I'm still gonna hold on to them. They're my pick.
I don't think they're as bad as they look right now. I think
Yeah.
Lamar just needs to figure something out.
Yeah, exactly.
Colts pulled off a nice little comeback against the Packers.
I caught the end of this. So they showed after I was watching the Cowboy game. They showed after like the bonus coverage.
Yep.
Pretty good.
Won in overtime, 34-31. Came back from a 14-point halftime deficit.
I mean,
You know,
Indy's not bad.
they're a pretty good, solid
bad.
club. Yeah.
Getting.
I don't know about Phillip Rivers anymore, but the whole team around
It all
him
works.
is pretty
Yeah,
solid.
he's good enough to where they're good enough to where he doesn't have to be great,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Yeah.
Did you happen to see my Dallas Cowboys beat the Vikings?
I mean, I went and checked the score. I was like, what? The fucking Vikings lost?
Couldn't believe it. Last week I was not feeling good because my friend Jeremy, big Vikings fan, he's the reason why I hate the Vikings. And I ended up watching the fourth quarter with him, which was perfect because the Cowboys pulled it out at the last minute.
Nice.
But the only bad thing about this, I'll never mention this ever again anymore because the Cowboys won their third game of the season, and they're pretty much out for the Trevor Lawrence.
The sweepstakes.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes, yes. So I didn't realize the Jets were 0-10, so they're going to get him.
You know what's funny? The funniest part about this, I think, is that the Cowboys are one half of a game out of first place right now
Yes.
in the division.
Yeah.
Because
Like
the Eagles are
Yeah. If the Cowboys beat the Washington football team on Thursday, they're in.
they're in first place.
They're in first place.
Temporarily, at least.
And so I will not mention Trevor Lawrence ever again on the show. unless the Jets win like 3 games and the Cowboys lose out. So
Yeah, you're...
very happy though for our audience who's not watching on YouTube, rocking the Cowboys hat today, repping. You know how it is.
Yeah. We had a good Sunday night game, a little back and forth battle between the Raiders and the Chiefs. Ended up 35-31 Chiefs taking the victory.
What I'm going to say about this game is Patrick Mahomes did his best Joe Montana impression at the end of this game.
Oh yeah.
Minute and a half left. You just knew.
You can't give the GOAT a minute and a half.
You're not already proclaiming that. Yeah, no, don't do that.
He's the next GOAT.
But I just knew. I was like, okay, minute and a half. Chiefs got the ball. They're down by what?
They were down by 4
Yeah.
or 3.
You just knew, right?
Yeah. They made it look so easy. I think they scored in a minute.
Yeah.
There was still time.
Travis
left.
Kelsey wide open in the end zone when
Yeah,
he
that
caught
was
the
bad.
game-winning touchdown catch.
That was bad. Poor Raiders. But they played a great game. Good, all of it.
Fun fact about the Raiders: they're the only team to intercept Patrick Mahomes this year.
Really?
He's thrown
both
2.
of his picks have been against
The Raiders. The
Interesting.
Raiders almost have beat them twice, which looks good for them.
Mm-hmm.
The Raiders-
are solid.
The Raiders are good.
They're in a
The
joke.
Raiders, they're not my top 6, which we'll get to, but they are good. And
Last but not least.
last night, Monday Night Football, Los Angeles Rams beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 27-24. This was a good game.
It was a solid game. It kind of got a little weird in the second half. Just offense were stalling out a
Yeah.
little bit, but
Tom Brady needs to stop throwing the ball downfield or deep downfield.
well, I think
He only throws interceptions when he throws it deep downfield or incomplete passes.
I think Bruce Arians needs to come up with better game plans. He just leaves Tom out to dry. He threw it another like 40 something times That can't happen. It was not a blowout.
No, it wasn't.
They need to hand the ball off to their good backs. They have Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones are two good running backs.
Yeah.
Need to feed the beasts.
Or Bruce Arians used to say, you can throw it 40 times a game, but we're doing like Drew Brees and throwing outside the before the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
So I'm still.
I'm sick. Bruce Arians has the worst press conferences after the game. He's like,
He's always
will not
salty.
take any blame. He's
Always
just,
salty.
yeah,
Always blames Tom.
yeah.
Always blames anybody else.
Or makes stupid ass excuses. He's the fucking worst.
Are you feeling any better about? Are you feeling any worse about Tampa Bay going to the Super Bowl? That your pick was?
Yes and no. I think I'm more worried about Bruce Arians as a coach than I am really Tom Brady. Because I think they can come up with formulas to win games. They get out of their shoes every now and then, and that's why they've been losing.
And to Tampa Bay's credit, the Rams are a good football team.
The Rams are very good.
They're a very good coach football team. And I mean, Jared Goff's Jared Goff. But,
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
They're like being a little bit more explosive away from being the best team in football, honestly. The Rams are.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for our NFL top 6?
Yes, sir. You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
Yeah, so I'll re-explain to the audience. We're in honor of what college football does with their playoff system. We come up with our top 4 teams that would play in a hypothetical, 4-team playoff.
1 versus 4,
1
2 versus 3.
Exactly,
Yes.
but with the NFL teams, this is,
Yeah.
like I said, all hypothetical. And then we ranked 2 more teams just to...
who were on the fringe.
they're on the bubble, bubble teams.
On the fringe, yes.
Yeah, so we'll start with our 2 teams that we think are on the fringe. I'll get started. So I have the Colts at 5 and the Rams at 6 right now.
I have the Rams at 6 and the Packers at 5.
Packers at 5, so you still like the Packers a little bit.
I still gotta say, this is every 2 weeks when I do this, it's hard.
It's really
hard.
difficult.
It's hard.
I was telling Gage before the show, like, after 3, I could not decide.
No.
I really could not decide.
No.
I like the Colts because they have wins now against Tennessee and Green Bay. They do have a questionable loss to Jacksonville, but overall, I mean, they've been playing good football lately too. They've won 4 out of 5. Same with the Rams. Have been playing good football. Won 3 out of 4.
Yeah.
They've beaten the Seahawks and the Buccaneers now, which was a good win. I will say another thing I said. The Buccaneers losing to the Rams and the Raiders losing to the Chiefs made this a lot more difficult to pick out last 3 teams.
Yeah. So I don't know about you, but my top 4 is pretty much is the same as 2 weeks ago. I don't know how much do you.
Mine is definitely different.
Okay.
Than my top 2. My number 4, I have the Buffalo Bills. What about you?
I have the Saints.
Saints. Okay.
Number 3, I have the Bills.
Okay, I have the Saints at 3. So why do you like the Bills more than the Saints?
Because the Bills arguably have the best wins and the best losses out of anybody that I have on my piece of paper.
Yeah, they have more. They definitely have more quality wins.
Yes. They have the Dolphins, Rams, Raiders, Seahawks. And
Yeah.
their losses are Titans, Chiefs, and Cardinals, which are all
All
good football teams.
Yeah, for sure.
And the Saints, to me, their only 2 good wins are against the Buccaneers, and that's twice.
That is true.
Their good losses to me are the Raiders and the Packers,
Mm-hmm.
but they've only beaten the Buccaneers twice, which is okay. Yeah, the Buccaneers are a good team,
Yeah,
but nothing else. And I know you can only play who's in front of you.
for sure. I don't like. I think a big thing is they do only have the 2 losses, and they're both to good teams also. So that's 1 less loss.
I did want to put them at 3 and put the Bills at 4 really bad.
Yeah,
But I looked at my sheet and I said, you know what, the Bills just have the better wins right now.
I
I think the fact that Drew Brees right now isn't playing made me want to keep them at 4. I know Taysom Hill just had a great game, like we said earlier.
Yeah, that's fair.
But Drew Brees will be out another 2 weeks
Yeah.
at the least.
Yeah.
But I think that's why I put them at 4 because the quarterback situation right now is not what it usually is.
I also I'm taking into account the fact that the Bills, since starting 4-0, are only 3-3 since.
Okay. Yeah.
The Saints have won 7 in a row, so they're playing hotter football.
Yeah.
The Saints have a plus 73 point differential versus the Bills 7. I almost didn't even put the Bills in the top 4 because of that.
Yeah.
I can't. That number is so.
That's incredible.
Being 4 games over 500 and only have a plus 7 point differential is a little funky. It's like the Browns who are 4 games over 500 and minus 23 point differential.
Hey, win's a win though.
A win is a win for sure.
But yeah, I know.
But
I know
I
exactly
still
what you're
like.
talking
I
about.
feel like I have to take a little credit away
Yeah, no, I feel that.
when you're losing ugly and winning ugly. So, but yes, I do agree. The Bills have more quality wins probably than any other team.
Yeah.
I don't know that any of the teams that the Bills have beat are actually any better than the Buccaneers, who are the only good teams that the Saints have beat. So
Yeah.
I consider that. Who do you got at number 2?
Got the Chiefs.
Same,
Chiefs.
and I would assume Steelers are number 1 still.
Yeah, I mean undefeated. You got to put them number 1.
Yeah.
I could put the Chiefs at number 1, but I mean I feel like it'd be a slap in the face.
Yeah. I mean, they both have 3 quality wins in my mind.
Me too.
And then, obviously, the Chiefs have the 1 loss versus the Steelers are still undefeated. Both have just been pretty dominant overall this
You mean the
season.
Chiefs had the 1 loss against the Raiders?
Correct.
Yeah.
Did I misspeak?
You said the Steelers.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Chiefs have the 1 loss.
Yeah, because the Chiefs have beaten the Ravens, Bills, and the Raiders,
Mm-hmm.
and then the Steelers have beaten what I think are the good teams: the Browns, Titans, and Ravens.
Yeah, I think based on resume solely, the only reason I could put the Chiefs ahead of the Steelers is the fact that they amended their loss to the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
But even so, it was a tight game.
It's close.
So it wasn't.
They probably should have lost.
Yeah, so it wasn't like they won convincingly.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll still keep the Steelers ahead.
Yeah.
I would say if they do lose a game,
I'll probably put the Chiefs
it
number 1.
would yeah, I'd be hard pressed to not
Yeah.
put the Chiefs ahead. But we'll see.
It's
So,
hard. It's hard. It's hard. I love this. 'Cause it's really hard to do.
Yeah.
And I really hate having the same top 4, but I just feel like
No, I mean even the Bills I think I did not have in my top 4 if I remember correctly. And they have lost 1 game and had a bye week since we've seen
Yeah.
them or since we've done this, and I moved them up.
mm-hmm.
So it's really very difficult.
it's fun, but it's hard because
Especially, and then like
you could ask 10 other people and they'll probably give you 10 different answers. You know,
Totally.
because everyone just has their own opinions
yeah,
and like reasons why they do certain things.
yeah, and then like all these 6-3 teams that lost,
Yeah.
you know, Dolphins, Cardinals, Raiders, and Ravens were all 6-3. They all lost.
Mhm.
Makes it even more difficult.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good segment,
Hell yeah.
good list. So we say have the same top 4. You said Colts at 5 and Packers at 6. Is that right?
My recent one,
Mm-hmm.
I have the Rams at 6, Packers at 5.
Oh, you had Packers 5, Rams 6.
Not crazy about the Packers pick at 5, but I thought
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not in love with the Packers personally. They only have one win that really stands out in my mind.
I think, man, I just that Buccaneers loss yesterday was kind of bad for me. So I'm not putting the Ravens up there, the Titans, or the Seahawks. I got like 8 teams I'm picking from right now.
Yeah.
So I'll roll the Packers right now.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks, I'm sure it'll be different again.
Like I'm not like I put the Colts up there because I think they have a better resume than most of those other 73 teams.
Yeah.
But I'm not even really sure that they're actually deserving of that spot.
Yeah.
Based on the what we see on paper or on the field rather. But yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, moving on. So we're gonna just mention the college football playoff rankings that just came out. This is the first week.
First week, yes.
Alabama comes in at number 1.
Classic.
Shocking. 7-0. Notre Dame number 2 at 8-0. This is the surprising one. Clemson at 7-1 coming in at number 3 over Ohio State, who is 4-0 coming in at number 4. I mean, they played half the amount of games Ohio State has, so I think that's probably what the committee took into consideration. Clemson also, their 1 loss is to a team ahead of them in Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Also without their starting quarterback. So I gotta imagine that was taken into consideration. And then you got Texas A&M and Florida as your 5 and 6, both 1-loss teams. Anything stand out to you?
No, I think it's weird seeing the 4-0 from Ohio
I
State.
know, right?
It's weird to see it, like, to Ohio State, so I get it.
Even Texas A&M only being 5 and 1.
Yeah.
It's kind of funky.
So I guess if anything stands out, it just looks
Yeah.
ugly, kind
Yeah.
of, because they played less amount of games. But besides that, I'm not really surprised.
I am glad that they're not punishing Clemson too much for that loss.
I am too,
Because I think they are still. I think you put Trevor Lawrence out there, they're probably
They win that
going to
game.
beat Notre Dame.
yeah.
Yeah. Because they're going to likely play Notre Dame again
Mm.
in the conference championship.
Yeah.
I would expect Clemson to win. And I would, even if they do, unless it's in blowout fashion, I would hope that they keep Notre Dame in the top 4 too, because I think they've beaten Clemson even without Trevor Lawrence, they've earned their way into a playoff scenario.
So do you think Notre Dame likes being in a conference because it might help them get in the playoff easier?
Well, getting Clemson on the schedule definitely helped this year.
Yeah.
I think in general, I mean, because they don't. I mean, they'll schedule a SEC team like they played Georgia in recent years.
Yeah.
They always have Stanford, USC, and I think Virginia Tech is usually on the schedule, who are notable programs.
Yeah.
Not maybe the best at the moment, but notable programs. So I think getting to play Clemson this year is definitely helping. If they didn't get to play Clemson, they may not be in the same position.
So I can see why they would like to be in a conference and why they wouldn't be.
Yeah, because if you're not in one, you get to pick your own schedule.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's harder to pick your schedule when you're picking a game every single week for 13 weeks or whatever it is. All right, let's move on. Time to let the fans dictate
The bulk
the activity.
the bulk of the show.
The bulk of the show.
bulk of the show.
So
Our first question is from our boy Chavoe.
It's more of a topic. Well, I guess it's
or-
kind of a question too.
Question topic,
Yeah.
potato. He said Clay injury. Will he bounce back?
I think so. I mean, obviously he's not going to play it all this year, unfortunately, which is
This was
Obviously.
such a
big time
bummer.
bummer. Yeah, I wanted to cry.
People who listen to us and know me personally know I hate the Warriors more than most things, but I do not like to see this happen to anybody ever. And Klay Thompson's probably one of the Warriors who I like the most.
Yeah,
He's no bullshit. He just plays. He balls out.
yeah.
Still, I think he'll be a future Hall of Famer. Even from if he doesn't play
No matter what,
much
yeah.
ever again.
I think he's probably already solidified a Hall of Fame spot.
I do think he will. Well, I hope he bounces back, and I think he will.
I think he will. I think he's strong. I think if at the most these are two fluky injuries, I don't think he's he's never been injury prone before this.
No.
He's played pretty much every game every year. It just like you said, it sucks. I wanted to see the Splash Brothers play again together this year so bad. I mean, it's been literally almost 2 years now, or a year and a half since we've seen them together.
You guys had it so good for so long.
We
and now it's
did.
just
We did.
crumbling.
Yeah.
And you guys got Wiseman, so it would be nice to see that dynamic to it.
Yeah, just to see the whole team kind of start a new little era. I mean, we still got Steph and Draymond and Clay, but bringing in a young guy like Wiseman and letting the other guys that we've developed over the last couple of years continue to develop.
I do wish nothing but the best when it comes to the
His recovery.
the recovery process, because I can't imagine what he's going through mentally.
Yeah, it's got to be rough.
You go through what you went through in the finals, miss the whole next year, and then try to come back and tear your shit on your other leg.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous. I mean, it's just what kind of luck do you have to run into?
seriously.
It's terrible. I don't like this.
Yeah, overall, it's going to be about 2.5 years of rehabbing, basically. So
He'll bounce back.
I think he will too.
I don't think he'll retire.
No. I mean, I would be devastated if he retired. I'm shocked at the same time.
He'll be back.
He's a competitive guy. I think he'll be back and
He'll be back.
as good as ever.
He seems like one of those I got something to prove type guys.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a tough one.
Next question. Sarah Nicole, aka Sarah Nicole.
Hey, congratulations!
You guys got engaged. Yeah.
You and Manny, a little round of applause.
Yeah. Cheers. We
Cheers
haven't
to
been
that.
drinking at all on the show. We need to speed up. Congratulations. She asked. She is a friend of. Stop cracking back. She's a friend of our old friend Ashley
Who?
Sills. Yeah.
No.
Former host of the show.
Yeah. The best host this show's ever had.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, she wants to give Ashley a little shit. She asks, "Why does Ashley suck at fantasy?"
Ooh.
Meaning fantasy football,
Yeah.
I imagine.
Sarah, I gotta say, you're talking mad shit for talking about the last year's champion, though.
This is true.
This is last year's
This
champion
is
you're
true.
talking about. And hey, it's hard to win back to back. I've done it, but it's not easy.
She's also not as bad as I think we want to think she is.
She's not bad.
I play Ashley this coming week, as a matter of fact, and I'm not confident I'm gonna win.
Ashley doesn't suck. Fantasy is just all luck of the draw. It's all it is.
It is.
And so I don't think she sucks. She's the defending champion. I don't think she's gonna win this year, but as of right now, she is the defending champion
She is.
in our fantasy football league. So Sarah, You gotta
You gotta eat those words.
you gotta eat those words. a
Well,
little
now
bit.
I'll humor you, Sarah. Yeah, fuck Ashley. She fucking sucks.
Or how about this,
Or
Sarah?
beat her ass
How about
this
this? You join our league next year and see how good you can play fantasy football.
Ooh.
I challenge you.
What's next, Gage?
Well, I'm gonna take a sip of my Dale's Pale Ale,
Good stuff.
one of the best pale ales ever. But our next question is from our boy Daniel Del Zampo. Asked us, I would love for you guys to talk about how shitty the Cowboys are. I bet you would like to hear that. But you caught us on a bad week, bro. Cowboys won. Come on.
They're so bad they couldn't even keep their draft status.
The Cowboys ruined everything so much they couldn't just keep losing.
Mm-hmm.
From here on out, I want one more win. And that's,
Only one?
that's
Just
against
one.
your 49ers. That's it.
I'll take it. Fuck
Everything
it.
else. Everything else.
What if the Cowboys end up having a lower draft slot than the Niners? Would you be mad?
Wouldn't be happy. The Cowboys do fucking suck, though. We've talked about this many weeks in a row. I probably sound like a broken record to keep talking
Yeah.
about it.
So let us move on.
Let us move on.
What's Danny's other question?
Oh, it's this question. Why are so many players having major injuries this year? I don't know. I'm not God. I mean, honestly, like I can't explain that.
Yeah, I mean it's.
Could he explain that? I'd love to hear what he had to say about that.
I mean, it's definitely coincidental, but I think you could argue that
No preseason.
Lack of-
Yeah.
preseason and an interesting training, different training camp style could have contributed.
I mean, it is a good question because we don't see this many injuries.
It seems like it's been more than, I mean, maybe not. Maybe we're just paying closer
Or-
attention.
It's
Who
just
knows?
bigger name people. Maybe,
Or
I
that.
guess. Yeah.
Yes, but it does seem like there's been a lot of
Yeah.
rough,
I mean,
unfortunate injuries this year.
I can't give you. I mean, I can't give you the answer because there is no answer.
No, there is no
The
answer.
only thing I can say is I feel bad for all these people.
Yep.
So
All right, moving on. My mom's got a few questions for us.
she always does. Love it.
We talked on the phone. She wanted to make sure that we got all of them. I said, "Oh, of course we did, Mom. We did not miss. Did not miss."
We don't miss.
So first one, more of a topic. She
Yes.
says, "Avi, the crushing blow of the Dubs, and how they're looking." We kind of just talked about this. I think
They'll be a playoff team.
they can make the playoffs. I don't think it's any guarantee necessarily
Yeah.
because there's a lot of new faces and roles that need to be defined that will take some time.
I think
So I think that's gonna be tough to figure out.
Steph Curry needs to be in MVP form if they have any chance of getting anywhere
Yeah, I don't.
deep in the playoffs.
I think if I had to make a prediction, they look like a first round playoff team and out.
Yeah,
If I had to guess,
playing the Lakers or something.
I mean their depth is just very questionable at this point. That's
Yeah.
the biggest thing.
Yeah, exactly.
They did add Brad Wanamaker, backup point guard, and I mean obviously Kelly Oubre that we talked about earlier, and then they brought back Kent Bazemore,
Hey,
the old Rally King,
fucking
the
lefty.
13th man. So yeah, I think they helped out the depth in that regard, but I still think there's a lot of question marks as far as the rotation goes.
My question from Argan is: are you gonna become not a basketball fan now that the Warriors are still gonna be shitty?
So you got to think about the squeaking again.
The squeaking on the court. Yeah.
Her next question is, what do you think about the Hall of Fame nominees, especially Barry Bonds? You have any feeling about him? I don't even know if you saw the list.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I mean, none of them really stand out, honestly. I think the most interesting part is, I think Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds might be spending their last year on the ballot,
Yeah. I mean,
and they don't seem to be in position to get in. I've come to the grips with,
he's
just to keep everybody happy, don't put him in, and everyone can have their own. Everyone should just have their own ideas about who should be in and who shouldn't.
Yeah.
That's all that really matters.
I mean, he's not gonna get in.
Yeah.
Neither is Clemens.
No.
And they did it to themselves.
I think the only funny part is there are guys that are in the Hall of Fame that played in the same era as these guys
Like Jeff
that are
Jeff
questionable. I would say Jeff Bagwell,
Mike Piazza.
Mike Piazza, Frank Thomas, even Randy Johnson, to name Pudge Rodriguez, to name a few. So,
They're all
I don't know.
jealous. That's why.
I don't know. The whole Baseball Hall of Fame is so.
It's tough, man.
I don't even care.
It's
Who
tough.
cares?
I wish,
The Hall of Fame.
I wish Ashley was here to talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, having Hall of Famer next to your name is cool, but does it really define who you are at the end of the day?
When your players like Bonds and Clemens, they know how good they were.
Yeah, exactly. They don't need to be told that they were Hall of Famer.
Obviously, it'd be nice to have that plaque in Cooperstown, but
Sure, exactly.
you know they know. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
Even without the.
They got their fucking trophies in the
Oh, yeah.
cabinet.
But how many MVPs does Bonds have? Like
7. Roger Clemens has 7 Cy Youngs.
That's
So,
crazy.
What else do they need? Whether they cheated for it or not, what else do they need?
Well, I bet they'd want. I know Bonds would probably want a World Series trophy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Did Clemens win one?
Clemens. I feel like he did, but maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't remember if he was on the 2000 Yankees. I think he might have been.
All right, so we'll say he has one. Yeah, I don't know for sure.
Last question from Mom. For the humorous side, when are you guys entering rehab? Do you need rehab?
Do I?
Yeah.
I need a lot more than rehab. I'll tell you that much right now. But I was just telling Emerson before. He texted me. He's like, "Hey, when you coming over so we can do this?" I was like, "I'll be there soon." And I told him, "I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want to drink today in the slightest at all. We've been drinking at least once a week for the last 3 months."
Yeah, since we started the show. We started the show like 5 months ago, like on the dot.
Really?
I think our first episode was 6:24.
Damn.
6:23, 6:24.
Where does the time go?
Yeah, so we haven't skipped a beat since then. Just
No,
put it that way.
haven't skipped a beat. Rehab. I don't like the word rehab. It has
Rehab sounds really rough.
sounds really bad. So how you doing? I checked into rehab.
Yeah.
Oh, ooh, someone's got issues.
Yep.
But we're not that bad. I wouldn't say. I mean, we don't get. I mean, we drink on the show. We don't get tanked.
I think we've gotten taken like twice.
I probably got twice. I mean, you were
Last week I was pretty fucked up. Or was the week before? I don't
The
remember.
one with the beer bong.
The week before, yeah.
Yeah,
I
2
was
weeks
pretty
ago. Yeah, you were pretty tanked, but
Yeah. But yeah, no, not going to rehab anytime soon.
No.
But thanks for asking, Mom.
yeah. But I mean, if you have something you want to tell us off camera or off,
Maybe we
off,
can talk
off the
about it.
microphone, we can talk about it. Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
What's our next?
Our next question is from our boy Jimmy Featheroff. How good are the Lakers, and how are the Warriors
How the Warriors are in for another 2
Yeah.
years of no playoffs. That's a bold statement, man.
Yeah, that's a bold. Take a shot for that one.
Yeah, just for us.
He's a Laker guy too, so
Yeah.
he loves this.
And he wants to, ruffle my feathers for sure with that comment.
Well, we talked about the Lakers earlier. We said how I think they could maybe go back to back.
Lakers look
possibly.
good.
They
Lakers look like another solid year for them coming.
It's hard to not look good when you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
That's all that really matters if you're thinking about it. As long as they don't have like absolute bums
Yeah.
playing the rest of the minutes, I think they're fine.
Or no injuries, obviously.
And that too, yeah.
Would you say the Warriors will go 2 more years of playoffs?
I think that's 2 years. I think he's like trying to poke the bear right
Poke
now.
the bear a little bit?
Yeah, because I think this year you could argue they may not make the playoffs, but if they get Clay back and he's healthy and ready to go,
They're playoffs.
I'd
in
be-
2 years from now.
I'd be really bummed if that team couldn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe not. You're looking good on your Steelers prediction. So maybe
He's feeling. I don't know. His baseball team's probably the Dodgers too, so he's probably like.
Oh, he's definitely a Dodger fan.
I actually would like to know what he is. You think he's a Dodger guy?
I mean, he's from
Is he
LA
from LA?
area.
Is he
LA
from LA?
area, yeah, as far as I know.
I'd like to know the Steelers connection.
Don't even ask us about baseball because I'll delete you from Instagram, Jimmy. Just kidding. But I don't want to hear about the Dodgers. Let's be real. Speaking of the Dodgers, what's our next question?
From Jim Bim the Bim Jim, our good friend, I guess you could call him, James McLaughlin asks. No, he didn't ask anything.
Yeah,
He just wrote
said-
down Ole Miss.
Well, because I asked, what do you guys want to hear us talk about?
Okay, gotcha.
And he just said Ole Miss.
Um,
You mean Ole?
Ole Piss?
Yeah. that
Ole
one.
Piss, yeah. He's only asking this because he went to Ole Miss, and he has, he
The
paid.
worst school in the SEC.
He paid to go there, so he has to root for him. You know what I mean?
He go there. He did.
I'm gonna be real with you, James.
I have nothing to say about Ole Miss.
Nothing to say.
Not one thing.
I don't even waste my breath on it.
Oh, Lane Kiffin's the coach. That's one thing I know about Ole Miss football.
I know they have some pretty nice powder blue uniforms that they wear occasionally.
After that, nothing.
It's a lot. I mean, I know DK Metcalf went there.
I'm not even gonna give him credit for any of that. So yeah, good question, James.
Yeah,
Thanks.
great question. Hey,
Moving on.
Yeah, try next week.
Yeah.
Try again next week, buddy.
It's time for last call.
Yeah.
Cheers.
You got
We made it this far.
We made it this far.
Yeah.
You got anything you want to talk about?
What do I want to mention?
I hope everybody here, there, everywhere has a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah, absolutely.
Safe, you know.
Yeah, safe.
I hate the word safe, actually. I don't know why the fuck I just said that.
It is a little cliche,
Yeah.
but
Hope everybody has a good Thanksgiving.
safety is important.
Yeah. Like you said, you work, which
Safety always.
is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But you usually work on Thanksgiving.
Yep. I
And
will
maybe
get to spend time with the Brents in the early afternoon.
I will be at my grandmother's house with my dad, my mom,
What's up, Grandma? What's up, Mom? What's up, Dad?
sister's boyfriend, possibly. Nothing big, you know. It's
Nice.
or the family isn't really big anymore, or the immediate family isn't big, which it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, it's always
It's-
nice to have a little intimate.
It's nice being with a big group of
Thanksgiving.
people, but sometimes, you know, when you have people that really matter the most, that's all that matters to me.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's all that matters to me.
My family is supposed to be hosting a big Thanksgiving this year. Obviously, that's not going to happen now because of the virus, but we're going to have a good time no matter what.
Hey, yeah, make the best of it. So your family's still gonna be there on or no?
No,
Okay.
so they were supposed to. That was the plan because every 2 years, my father's side of the family comes, or we get together wherever it is, wherever the hometown is, and this year was supposed to be Napa, but that is not going to happen.
So
Which would have been fun, but it's okay. We're going to do it, I think, in a couple years from now.
Gotcha.
Instead.
So you're not gonna do it next year.
I don't think so, but I'm not positive. I don't know if that's been hashed out yet.
Cool.
If it has, I haven't been paying attention.
Yep.
One thing I do want to mention, this is sports related. Funny rumor. So we talked about Theo Epstein, Cubs president of baseball operations. He stepped down last week. And now there are rumors that he might be gunning for the commissioner's job.
Whoa.
Take over for Rob Manfred,
Wow.
potentially.
How do you feel about that?
I don't even really know. I mean, Theo Epstein has put together a pretty solid resume
Yeah.
as far as a winner in baseball.
With two teams who were never winners,
Yeah. So it's,
or who weren't winners for a long time.
but that doesn't necessarily mean that he has the best, intentions for the league. So we'll see what comes of it. It's just a rumor at this point.
Yeah.
Nothing more than that. But I think there's some validity to it because he did step down from a pretty solid job. So.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of
I didn't know that. It's
interesting little
it's
tidbit.
interesting to think about.
yeah.
I do have one more thing I want to mention. Tomorrow is my dad's 50th birthday.
Our boy Moj, you made it.
He made it. He made it.
Well, as long as he doesn't have a net. No, I'm kidding.
50th birthday tomorrow. It's kind of hard to believe that he's gonna be 50 because he still acts like he's my age. Still dresses like he still rocks the Jordans and the jeans. Like he'll never dress like an old guy.
Yeah.
It's just never been his thing. But I'll take a. You have shot glasses up there?
You can have mine.
I will take a shot for my father. Happy he made it this far. I'm sure a lot of people didn't think he'd make it this far. But
Well, I'm proud of your dad for turning his life around for the better.
yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I'll give him a little clap for that.
So he doesn't listen to us, I don't think, which is fine. But I'm gonna give a good cheers to 50.
Good boy, Mudge.
And him and I are gonna
Live it up on
get
Thursday.
after it tomorrow.
Who do the Cowboys play on Thursday? The Washington boys?
Yep.
Yep.
Ooh. God. So yeah, Dad, happy birthday. I love you.
You think the Steelers finally gonna lose on Thursday?
Probably not.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Ravens don't look like they're just not clicking right now.
They're not.
Because they are, I do believe they're a good football team, like we talked about. But
Hey, they're my pick to go all the way, so they better be a fucking good team.
what's the other game that we're forgetting? Lions are playing who? They're playing.
Fuck, someone should know. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Yeah, it's Steelers, Ravens, Cowboys, Washington, and then the Lions are
They're
playing.
probably playing like the Bears or something.
I feel like it might be the Bears. Or Vikings?
It's come on. Texans.
Random.
Yeah, Lions Texans.
Hopefully, my boy Kenny Galladay is back, so my fantasy team can be helped by that.
So the Lions game will be at 9:30 on Thursday. Cowboys at 1:30. Steelers 5:20.
Nice.
So for all you
Yeah.
for all you fantasy football guys out there, and
Get your lineup set.
get your lineup set before 10 or before 9:30
Yes.
if you have any Lions or Texans players.
Do not forget.
Exactly.
Yeah, fuck, I gotta set my alarm early on Thursday. I'm not happy about that. I got DeAndre Swift and Kenny Galladay, who are both questionable for the Lions right now.
I think I got Stafford.
He was also questionable, right?
I'll probably drop him again. I don't know. My fantasy football team has been shit.
We're both in similar spots right now. You're 6-5
Yeah.
in the fourth, or tied for fourth. I'm 5-6, tied for, that next spot
I
down.
play. Oh, I forget who I play. I might play Dylan again. I don't know.
So I just lost to Nico, who is behind me in the standings, which really hurt because I just realized I play Ashley this week,
Yeah.
whose team is getting hot, and then my last 2 games are against Arb, second place, and Finch, first place.
You're done. It's done.
I'm hosed. I'm hosed. I need a miracle. I absolutely need a miracle right now.
You need to like cope
because
with miracles.
I can really not afford a loss. I mean, I could, and things could go my way, but
Yeah.
honestly, I kind of need to win out, and it's not looking good.
I won my first 6 games. I've lost my last 5. It's unbelievable. It's something I've never done in fantasy football before. That's for goddamn sure.
I feel like this season is kind of dragged out too. Like it
won't end.
feels like it started so long ago.
Well, part of me was like, damn, we're pretty close to the end already. But I was like, yeah, that's actually.
We actually still have 3 weeks left in the regular season. It should be a good one. I know we've stopped posting about it on Instagram. I just felt like that got a little stale. But when the regular season ends, we'll do another update on Instagram.
Yeah.
And we will keep you updated on the playoffs too, which
We'll
should
try to
be
give you more content.
interesting. Who do you think's gonna win it? If not yourself.
What, fantasy?
Yeah.
I'm not winning it. Probably Finch.
I think Finch's team's pretty unbelievable right now.
Which,
Pisses me off because I traded him James Conner.
yeah, good job. Arb's gonna be there too.
He's the only guy I mean, South seems pretty solid too. I don't know if it's as consistent as those other 2 guys, so I think those 2 are the guys to beat for sure.
Yeah.
Any final words? I know we already did last call, but
No, I got everything off my chest.
I think we're gonna sign off.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thanks for listening again.
Appreciate it.
We will see you next week. Peace.